Peter Emily International Veterinary Dental Foundation was started in early 2005 through a donation of funds from Dr. Peter Emily. Dr. Emily is widely known as the grandfather of animal dentistry.
I started probably before anyone ever thought anything about doing dentistry on animals. Started out probably in the middle 70s, and they finally caught on around 79 and 80. We started a form of society, and then the academy, and then the College of Veterinary Dentistry.
Established through a $300,000 donation of funds from Dr. Emily, the mission of the foundation is to provide veterinary dental care for captive animals worldwide. The foundation initially achieved its mission through the provision of grants to individuals or groups directly improving the oral health of captive animals. The Peter Emily Foundation is now expanding its reach to include missions to shelters, sanctuaries, and lesser zoos that are understaffed or underfunded from a veterinary perspective. In May 2008, Peter Emily Foundation members and mission workers traveled to the Wildlife Way Station in Silmar, California on an exploratory mission.
This is sort of the first mission, the first idea to see what we really need to have when we're on missions like this to hopefully be able to take this abroad.
So how long have you been with the sanctuary here?
A little more than 20 years.
So what brought you here in the first place?
Life.
One of those accidental things? Or,
exactly, one of those beautiful accidents.
Where do most of these animals come from? Where do you get these animals that come here?
I will say most of them used to be pets. People got them when they were babies, when they were fun. And as soon as they are dangerous, big, and they can potentially hurt them,
they're not fun anymore.
They are not fun anymore, and they seek for places like this. Also, we have animals that used to perform in movies, in the film industry. We have a large colony of chimpanzees, like 50, that used to live in a lab, in laboratories for research. Mm-hmm. And they don't have use for them anymore, but they have a good house here.
Okay, so I can see by your vest and your hat here, you have the Peter Emily International Veterinary Dentistry Foundation. What is this? What is the purpose of this?
Well, the purpose is to take care of and do the oral pathology and the dental needs of these animals that no one actually owns.
The problem is international. Asia, Africa, South America. These services are needed all over the world. When you look at the numbers, it can seem overwhelming. Just in the United States, there are thousands of sanctuaries and shelters struggling to simply feed and shelter the animals. In Colorado alone, there are nearly 300 sanctuaries with thousands of animals in their care. The goal of these missions is many-fold. First, we need to treat the animals at these shelters, sanctuaries, and zoos. Next, we need to educate the staff at these facilities so that in the future they are better able to recognize, treat oral diseases of the animals in their care. We then need to educate mission workers about these kinds of cases that are out there. With hands-on experience, teach them how to treat these animals.
We need a lot of help. People like yourself and Dr. Holmstrom and a few others in this college that can do some of this work. A lot of them we need to kind of help them along so they can pick up the nuances to what these larger animals were, what the needs they are, and how to treat them. Because most of the things we work on are just dogs and cats, and there's hundreds of other species out there with special problems that we need to be educated on to treat them. The oral problems are so prevalent because, listen, everything comes into the world with their mouth open, and bacteria live beautifully in the mouth. It's dark, damp, and it's moist, and this perfect breeding place for bacteria. And in veterinary offices, we know in practices and hospitals, 80% of the problems we see are related to the mouth. Okay. And if you look at these teeth that are needing root canal therapy, for example, I mean, without treatment, they're perpetual source of bacteria that's circulating throughout the system. And we end up with crazy kidney problems and lung problems and heart problems, endocarditis, nephritis, all kinds of problems from these opportunistic bacteria that are circulating in the system that are seeded from these infected teeth. So and being, as humans know, if you had an abscessed tooth, you'd quickly seek aid from your dentist, and these poor guys don't have an option. They sit there and they suffer with it.
Are any of the problems we're seeing related to dental problems, are they related to the type of habitat they're put in here?
Right. Animals, especially big cats and lions and bears and so forth, they're very, very mouth expressive, and they can relate to themselves and other things. And they always are breaking teeth on the steel confinements of cage doors, of fences, and so forth. And it doesn't take much with all the power they have in their mouth to fracture these teeth and expose the pulp and end up with root canal therapy. Many, many times we don't see the pathology until it's so advanced. We see draining tracts outside of the mouth and realize it all came from teeth. You know, the swelling in the face, which is from an infected tooth. So these advanced problems, they make it even more difficult to treat. To send a team of veterinarians to a particular shelter to do it, when they donate their time, it's still a tremendous amount of money involved. It's not going to be a cakewalk, but it's something that has to be done. And the other thing, it's not a glamorous job. I mean, we're battlefield conditions. We're not going into a beautiful plush hospital with tables and X-rays and everything all set up just like we'd love them. I know it sounds very, very glamorous now, but it's going to be a work. It's a work in progress, as we can see just from what we're doing now.
To achieve its goals, the Foundation needs your help, so please help however you can to assist us in providing the necessary veterinary dental care to improve the overall health and welfare of captive animals worldwide. If they could talk, they'd thank you for it.